Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Malty Monday. We're going to be looking at what is that? It didn't save it. Hold on.
Fail.
Forget it. It's the American Lager.
Epic.
Oh, epic fail. Next time I should hit save when I change it. So it's the American Lager tonight. I want to welcome my chat in. My panel. We have
this is great.
do have Louisiana beer reviews. Ron right there next to me. Right next to him, we do have another birthday boy. We have Lone Star.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday to Lone Star tonight.
Yeah, man.
Thank you all.
Right below Lone Star, we have Beer Man.
Hey, cheers.
Miscellaneous Magnets.
What's up?
And Thrash, Metal Homebrew, and BBQ.
BBQ.
Want to say thank you to the chat for showing up here. I see that there's a few that would like a link as well, so we'll put a link into the chat here coming up. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you all for showing up. Thank you, Blake, TV, Thrash. Thanks for being here. RONALD Sutton. Yes, you brought the hams, so we will we'll get you in. Smoky Ninja, cheers to you. Finru, thank you for stopping in. How you doing tonight? And Nina Yori, yes, there will be a link going in, and also welcome to Commerce Aussie. Let me go ahead and just read off what the BJCP says about American Lager. Now, it's not listed as an American adjunct lager, it's just American Lager, but you'll see when I read this as to what it kind of states about them. So, for the overall impression, a very pale, highly carbonated, light-bodied, well-attenuated lager with a very neutral flavor profile and low bitterness. Served very cold. It can be very refreshing and thirst-quenching. Comments says strong flavors are a fault, often what non-craft beer drinkers expect to be served if they order a beer in the United States. May be marketed as Pilsner beers outside of Europe, but should not be confused with traditional examples. History on this. Although German immigrants had brewed traditional Pilsner-inspired lager beer in the United States since the mid-late 1800s, the modern American lager style was heavily influenced by Prohibition and World War II. Surviving breweries consolidated, expanded distribution, and heavily promoted a beer style that was appealing to a broad range of the population. Became the dominant beer style for many decades and spawning many international rivals who would develop similarly planned products for the mass market supported by heavy advertising. Usually it says for characteristic ingredients, 2 or 6 row barley with high percentage, up to 40% of rice or corn as adjuncts. That would be typical. So let's go ahead. I always scare myself when I do that because I think I exited out of StreamYard, but let's go ahead on with Ron, and he's going to show us what he has brought to the table tonight for the American Lager.
Yes, and I appreciate Jesse letting me go first, and I'll do my thing, and then I'll get out the way and exit, and other people can join because I have scheduling issues with the early morning excitement. But tonight, I have a product called Steel Reserve 211. Now, this is the 6% version, and it's sold in Louisiana. Only gets the 6% version now, and it's a combination of different grains, whatnot, but so it's not all malt for sure. It was introduced in 1998, and then Miller Brewing Company, meaning Philip Morris, bought it in 2001. They acquired it from an independent company, And then they introduced the 6% in 2003. Now, here's the original. In 1998, when I first saw this, I bought this bomber bottle. All right. And it's got 211 on the inside bottle. So this thing here used to always say 28 days. It was aged exactly 28 days. But when Miller bought it, I guess they didn't want to be held to that. So they dropped the 28. And that's the old 8%, 8.1%. It used to be 8.1. And then now it just says SR, Steel Reserve. There's also one now here's what the 12-ounce can looks like. It's a little different design, you see. You can get these in the 12 packs. I know you don't want to see, all people are like, we didn't come here to see a can expose. But one more thing. Oh, and they also make this Steel Reserve Alloy series, which is a whole lot of flavored ales, but that's a different style, a different category. Here's the black label, the hard to find in most places Steel Reserve Triple Export, which does not taste like the others. And I suspect, and other people have come up with the theory before me, I just got the idea from them, that they use a different hop extract to give it a different flavor. Okay, on with this. So I bought this 6-pack of pint cans for $4.38 plus tax, $4.38 plus tax, which to me is not a bad price. Now, it's got a good Best Buy date on it. Best Buy, December 7th. December 7th. We're only in July. It's got a dark gold, thick head. I do like Steel Reserve, 6%. Don't care too much for the 8.1. It's too chewy and strong for me. It's sort of a rich nose. It's multi-grain, which it really is a multi-grain. Cheers to everybody. Cheers to the birthday boys. Happy birthday.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thank you, Ron.
Cheers to the panel. Now, Jesse, I'm going to give a quick rundown of the whole shebang, and then I'll get the score and get out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it.
Does that sound okay?
It sounds fine to me. Right after you're done, I'll throw the link in the chat. So, welcome to the chat.
And I'll just clear out. And I'll be watching the replay and making comments and whatnot.
I look forward to it.
It's clean, it has a dry finish. It's crisp. 6%. You got to be a little careful because if you're knocking a lot of these back, it kind of can sneak up on you, I think. But it's really a stereotypical American style adjunct lager. It's a little bit of cereal. Think along the lines of like Cheerios. And I'm not being sarcastic, even though this doesn't use oats. Maybe corn flakes without the sugar, not the frosted flakes. Medium bodied, crisp, clean, and refreshing. It's everything you always wanted in a Miller Lite, but a whole lot more. Because Miller Lite, you're only getting a 4.2 action. Here you're getting a 6%. But now you're gonna have a trade-off because you're gonna be having a lot more calories coming into play. It's definitely not a diet beer. Oh, it's really prickly carbonation. It's like carbonation galore. Well, I don't know if any of y'all ever had the 6% Steel Reserve, but smooth, easy going. I like it. Is it world class or anything like that? Obviously not. But in the world of American adjunct lager, I will score it. And I think it would pair well with any kind of Mexican style food. But but and a bunch of other things too. I think it deserves about 91 out of 100, an A minus. And for 438 a 6-pack, I ain't complaining. I like it.
I'm trying to think of what other beer I picked up. It was an American lager that was really cheap for a 6-pack too.
Yeah, these are now. Remember, these are pint cans, so we're talking about 438
Oh yeah,
for
that's true,
6 tall boys too, man. It's not 12 ounce.
I think it was the can't think of the name of it now. What's the beer that has the pinup on it?
Oh, you talking about Old Milwaukee?
Old Milwaukee, yeah.
Yeah, and they just redid the label, so the pinup is gone, and now they got a new kind of throwback label, so to speak. So, but I can't get it in my town anyway. All right, thanks for letting me join this, and I wish everybody the best on your presentation. I hope
Cheers,
your
Ron.
beers will.
Yeah, man.
Cheers back to you, Ron.
Yeah.
I hope your beers will treat you well.
Yeah, 91 is the score to shoot for. First score of the night, 91 out of 100. So, not bad, not bad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, man.
Thank you, and I'm
Cheers.
out of here. Good night, everybody.
Cheers.
You too.
Don't forget to watch Dawn. Don't forget Dawn Busters tomorrow morning at 6:30 Eastern. I have 2 Scotch whiskeys, and then Wild Card Wednesday night at 7 Eastern. Any beer you want to bring, all are invited.
Awesome.
How do I follow that?
Well, you do it right after I.
Have you been on Malty Monday yet?
I've been on Malty Monday for the Heffies.
So the link is now in the chat, but we are going to move on and let the birthday boy show us something from Texas. It looks like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thanks, BuMpY, for having me. I greatly appreciate it. I know I'm not a regular, but thanks for having me tonight. Today, I got a beer called Nowhere But Texas. I mean, if y'all can see all the logos, the hats, the guitars, stars, oil rigs, cowboys, got all the different logos on it. And of course, look at the beer over there and all shit. But this is a 4.2. It's a 16 ounce. So, or not, I'm sorry, 19.2 ounces. About 4.2. It's by Legal Draft Company in Arlington, Texas. So, give it a whirl. It's first time I've had this one, so. A little bit of aggressive pour. Don't see much carbonation. I did review Beer Advocate, and they said there wasn't much carbonation in here, so I was not looking for that much. So, and it's right on the nose. Not much carbonation whatsoever. But cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Awesome. It's definitely a it's got a crisp taste to it. I looked on their website and looked on Beer Advocate, and it didn't say whether it's corn or rice, so I could not find that information. The smell is definitely bready. Maybe a little bit of lemongrass. I'm not 100% sure. I did read that it does have a little bit of that, so I can definitely see what they're talking about there. Yeah, it's just a nice, crisp, fresh beer. This 19-ounce can costs about $2.50. I'm not sure how broad they sell their products, but I mean, it's just like a normal American lager beer. It's very tasty. It doesn't taste like the traditional Miller Lite, Bud Light, Miller Lite, or anything like that. It's got its own unique flavor for the brewery and everything. A little known fact about this brewery is instead of calling their employees, they call them the jurors, because the the legal draft company, so they call them drawers. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, if I'm doing out of 100 system, I would probably have to say maybe a strong 89 to 90. I mean, it's not the best, but it's definitely got a crisp taste to it, and I would definitely snag it again as I go yellow.
All right. Very good. We weren't gonna go with scores just yet, but
Oh, I'm sorry, myself.
that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. All right.
Did I fart or something?
Sutton's back. He's I think having issues with his
I
connection.
got
All right, let's get him in
There he
here.
is.
So,
He's in, he's out.
welcome, Ron. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Ron.
So, Beerman, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotta get my
Okay.
cop out. All right. Well, thanks, BuMpy. I appreciate it. This is great. It always is. Great chat too. So, or great people out here. So cool. I got Rogue Dreamland. It's an American lager. I had it before. It was pretty damn good. It's in the 19.2, big old can here. What in the heck is the percentage on this? 4.8%, 14 IBUs. Rogue's always good about putting their information on the cans. SRM 3.4, so fairly real light. Yeah. Date. What do we got here? Want to chat? Text us. I've texted them twice, and they never sent me anything. No, but 5320 is the freshness, so not too bad. Not too bad. A month and a half. Got it at our local crazy grocery store where everyone's crazy and butts, heads, and elbows. All right. So let's get some cool can art. I kind of like. I didn't show that off too much, but I don't know if you guys have seen this.
I haven't seen that one
I
yet.
think BuMpy's had Rogue before, haven't you, BuMpy?
Oh, I've had Rogue beers. Yeah, I haven't had that.
Because it looks familiar.
It's been in
Like,
our
it's a
store for a
fancy
while,
can?
but
Pretty
No.
can.
all right. So we got a very effervescent beer here. The bubbles, I can't even think right now. The retention has gone down actually pretty fast. It seems. I think I had like a finger not too long ago. Let's smell it. Yeah, well, you get like there's kind of like there's a tangy like citrusy, crackery maltiness. It's very spritzy in the nose, kind of pointy, kind of there's quenching feeling in the nose itself. Let's go to the look. It's a real golden look. It's got a slight haze to it, but yeah, I'd call it kind of it's a slight haze, but it's clear. It's a clear beer. It's a golden beer. It's got effervescence like hell, going all crazy, fast rising bubbles. The retention over a minute and a half has gone down to barely anything, a fingernail. White head, really kind of broken up head. The bubbles really dissipated quickly. I'm not getting any lacing whatsoever. Let's drink it.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. It's got a bit of a citrus, like lemon forward kind of feel to it. It's light. It's a light body. It does have a kind of a corn or kind of like a corn. Like I just hit a corn on a cob or something. Like those popping those little kernels in your mouth, kind of that spritzy like feel from the popping corn as you chew on it. You know that nice corn feel. But there's other things. There's bready. There's kind of like that bready, crackery kind of feel, like saltines. It's not real salty in the mouth though. It's real light and clean and thirst quenching. Real good lawnmower beer. something I would totally drink. I mean, this has got a lot of more. This has actually a lot more flavor than like say like Miller or something like that. I would definitely have to go say this craftiness is definitely in my opinion better than that, but the more commercial side of it. But Rogue's pretty big though. But craft wise, it's a good beer. It's got a nice feel to it. The mouth feels nice and crispy. Like I said, lawnmower, really nice and thirst quenching. Dry finish, probably a medium finish. Kind of a tangy finish. Actually, it's kind of tangy in the back.
I missed the ABV on it. I didn't hear you say the ABV.
4.8. 4.8, sir. Yep.
That's questionable. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Kind of an herbal spice too. There's that surrounding the front of my teeth, the front of my mouth, on my hard palate, up on my tongue and stuff. I'm getting kind of a peppery floralness, which is really interesting with that citrus. It's a really good beer, y'all. This is good. I'm digging it. I liked it before, so cheers, man. Cheers.
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 Cheers, beer, man.
Right on. Good to see
See
you.
how fast you can drink it. Suck it down. Put it down your gullet.
Then we'll hear nothing but burping later.
No, that's a pee over in the corner. Yeah.
I do that occasionally. I hope you can't see me when I do it. Yeah.
And Lone Star was thinking, how can I follow up Ronnie? So now Miscellaneous, you have to follow up Beer Man.
That's no beer reviewers. I'm like, holy cow.
Oh,
Stir adjectives.
Hi. All right, guys. So today I've got from Guinness, the Open Gate Brewery in Baltimore, Maryland. This is their Baltimore Blonde, 5%. That's about all I know. It says crisp golden beer, citrusy with a refreshing finish. So I don't know. Haven't had it. It's my first time. Been eyeballing it for a while. So let's pour it up, see what it looks like.
You have a screen that's cutting off his head. You got like two people in the chat that's cutting off his head. I don't know if you can fix it or not. Yeah, it's like distorted.
No, he
Can't see your
looks perfectly
face.
fine. He looks perfectly fine.
Yeah, you look fine.
Yeah, you're fine, Miscellaneous. You're good.
Really?
Yeah, not a lot of head on there. Kind of a
It's
little
on mine.
weak pour. Very clear. It's got some fast, small rising bubbles going up in there. Head retention wasn't good. I guess it probably get a little aggressive with the next one. Ooh, this is nice. Man, you're getting like a nice light floral, citrusy, hoppy smell coming off of this beer. I like it. Can't remember what two hops this was made with. I can't remember off the top of my head. You do get that it does have like a sweet, almost corn type smell to it. Other than that, not too much else on the nose. Let's go ahead and drink it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
cheers.
Yeah. Prost.
Roast.
Man, that's tasty. I really like that. Was a little spendy. I would say that for American lager, but man, I do. It's nice and earthy, hoppy, light. It's very light though. It's not like punch you in the face like you're drinking a IPA. It's very light, refreshing. You get it's earthy, like grassy, almost. I wouldn't say hay-like, but
Barnyard.
no,
The barnyard. Yeah.
it's not barnyardy. Shit, now you threw me off. Anyways, it's light, crisp. It's got a little bit of bitterness on the finish, not overpowering. Very, very clean drinking. For 5%, I really enjoy it. I'm gonna take some more notes and probably drink a couple of these by the time it gets back around to me. So, cheers, guys.
All right.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
That's good.
All right, so we're gonna move on over to Thrash.
Cheers. First thing I want to say is thank you, BuMpy, for having us all tonight.
You're welcome. Thank
Gotta
you all for showing up. I do have to say, did you bring a 40 because it's Chad's
It's a 40.
You brought the
It's a
40
40
for the 40. You are the man, Thrash.
That's right. 40 ouncer. The freshness date on here is good. Let's see, 14 October. So St. Louis, Missouri, born 144 years ago. Haven't had a regular Budweiser in I don't know how
That's
long.
cool.
I better say, how long has it been for anybody to have a Budweiser? That's
You'll enjoy it. You'll
Well,
enjoy
usually, you're like at a
I
like a
feel-
hockey
I feel
game or
so
whatever.
many-
You get you get the Bud Light or whatever. That's me.
True.
Let this settle down a little bit, and you can see that's just so champagne-y. It's not funny. So clear.
Mhm.
You can see your mama.
or Thrash face.
Nice to your face.
Their hair. You could start a fire with this if the sun was beaming
You
in.
probably could if you had to.
So we can get going. Yeah, it's got that soapy, tight and loose bubbles in here. Just real happy in there. I mean, it's a bunch of drunken sailors just going to town in the suds. Very good, highly effervescent. Yeah, like I said, introduced in 1876, 144 years ago in St. Louis, Missouri. They have multiple ABVs on here. In the United States, it usually runs around 5%. And in Thailand, India, Canada is 4.9. UK, Ireland, and Australia is 4.5 because they can't handle their liquor. And in China is 3.6%. So it's going
Wow.
for nose. Budweiser. God, I haven't had one of these in
In
a long time.
Europe, it's 5%.
UK, Ireland,
Really?
Australia, 4.5.
That's
on-
that
that's on-
Russian
hold on,
dude
hold on,
said
Ron.
5%.
It's Wiki, so Wiki can be wrong too. So
Very true.
I was going to go out on the main site, but they have too much promotion going on out there. So we can get past this. You get that. You get that real fresh. Hey, you get the rice. You get the. Just let me continue with this real quick because it all comes off on the nose. Barley malt, rice, water, hops, and yeast. So you're getting a lot of the light malts, the rice. The hops that they use are very, 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 very light with alpha acids. And the yeast, I'm not quite sure what yeast they use, but they use they lager this with beechwood chips. And the mass producing of this, they usually make a real high concentrate. And when they go to bottle it, they mix it with the carbonated water right at the bottling time. So that's where you get where it all comes out. That's why they can make so damn much beer. Anyway, they're taking over the world if they haven't already. You all know that. So very, very pretty color. That yellow lemon, just bright sunshine. I mean, Budweiser, they got it right. I mean, they sponsor almost everything. I think Dale Earnhardt Jr. has Budweiser in his car.
Name drop.
Yep. But yeah, very fresh beer. It's going for a drink. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
All the way, all the way, all the way. All right, man. That's a good chug.
Oh, I ain't gonna chug this. I won't be able to get through it. I'll be burping too much. Yeah, it's got that really nice, clean on the palate. It's just goes across, comes off a little dry in the end, which makes you want more. And I think that's the key to the Budweiser products is they do that on purpose so that you just keep buying it and keep buying it when you're at like sporting events or or whatever. They want to draw you in and have you keep drinking it until they're making money like crazy.
I call them a rubber band beer because they always come back into your hand. I can talk about every other beer, but I tell you, I killed a lot of King soldiers last night.
Oh.
It's a rubber band beer.
You lined them up and knocked them
Come
down.
back into your hand. Oh, yeah, I had to call in the reserves. Hell yeah, man. Call in the reserves. Yeah, there was a lot of King soldiers that went down the tube last night. It's a great beer. I mean, there's
Budweiser's a
nothing
good
wrong
beer.
with it. It's the
Well, I saw this. I was
highest
waiting.
quality product on the earth.
Well, yeah, it's a very high quality product.
Huh?
The only thing that sucks about this beer sometimes is that if you let it set too long, we were doing stuff like at my work where
Yeah.
they'll have like a barbecue or whatever, and they'll have a bunch of beer and they'll have some left over and they'll put it like in a closet or something. You go back like 6 months later, it's skunk.
Yeah,
It
it's pretty
skunks
bad.
real easy. So another thing too, since I'm a craft beer maker, going back to
That's
Budweiser,
anything.
this thing is very, very.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the flavors that I'm so used to, so it's kind of a little bland for me. But as soon as I have another glass of this, I know it's all going to pop back again. But I'm just so used to making such tasty craft beers that have
That's
all
better.
these hops and flavors and stuff. Oh, that looks great. Anyway, I'll go ahead and think about this one, and I will get back to you with the numbers later. Cheers.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Thrash. Just gonna leave a comment real quick to John.
I wouldn't.
There we go. All right. Hey, guess what, Sutton? It's your turn.
Yep. I'm drinking the All-American Classic from the land of Sky Blue Waters. Yeah, you know I like hams. I mean, it's an amazing beer. You know, and I'm not harping on Budweiser because I love Budweiser. You know, I drank a lot of them last night, like I said. And Budweiser was the brewery that invented adjuncting because they needed to clarify their beer because they were using 6-row barley other than 2-row. I think I went into this before. But to clarify their beer, it was like a 30% cut. Budweiser used rice. Other people used corn. You know, hams use corn. Hams is for the money. Like I always said, I can't believe they can produce a product for that price that is that high quality. But Budweiser, there's no higher quality on this planet than a Budweiser beer. But that's my injunction on the adjunct lagers. You know, adjunct lagers. I'm sure everybody's had them. You know, Pabst use strictly. They don't mix 2-row. They use strictly 6-row, and that's what gives Pabst that little bite. It's got a bite to it. You know, Blatz had like the same thing. You know, but it's just the different quality of water, the different way they roast the malts. You know, everybody has their own opinion, but in my opinion, hams, it's up there. It's one of the best, and I'll give you my score later.
I agree with you too. Hams is a good beer.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
Did you want to show the
price and
can?
everything? Yeah, I'll show the can.
Chug,
I
chug.
got a can. I might have a crunch.
Come on, Ron.
Shit, shit.
Come on, bite
I
that
got
can,
a
chug
can.
it.
Do it.
Oh, shit.
Do it for the tube. Nice.
Nice,
Man,
man.
you know what? His teeth are all shiny.
Man, that's a great American lager. There ain't much better than this, man. I'm telling you, there ain't much better than this.
I hear that ham
Pabst,
salt
if they never
salt
would
for
have moved
cans.
to Georgia, it wouldn't have been a good beer. Yeah, that's good.
Awesome.
Here, I want to see Nina crush a can on a Narragansett. I want to see her crush it.
I used
Where's
to do that
Nina?
with bottles.
Nina.
Yeah.
Nina, Nina, whatever.
Nina, Nana. Nanny, Nana.
Ow!
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt.
Yeah.
I got something stuck.
You're doing it wrong.
Nina.
You're supposed to do it like this.
I'm gonna sue you. No, I'm just kidding.
Where's the ham? Where's the ham?
Just to answer Ronnie, yes, yes,
Laugh
I've had
aloud for all
hams.
you people.
We were getting hams in my area for a little bit, and I was picking up some 12 packs every now and then they stopped showing up, so I stopped buying them.
Cool. Awesome.
All right, so I'm going to now present myself, so show you what I'm bringing. Now, what I have is from Night Shift Brewing. They're out of Everett, Massachusetts. And this one is called the other way. Night Heavy American Lager.
Oh,
It's 5% ABV. Should share the night. It is an independent craft. This was canned on March 19th, so a little over 3 months old. And let's pour it.
Let's do it. It's pretty huge. It's like
It's done.
good can art, but it's very simple.
Very simple, yeah. They have some other ones out there. They have a light lager they call Night Light. It has
see, I was gonna make a joke
the
earlier.
thing all
Now you filled me in.
Burn.
it looks like one of those night lights, you know, the things that you plug in those little plastic things, and they have the lights behind them. They light up.
Light bright.
Yeah, light bright. And then they have another one I just saw. They have night. Lime light.
Lime light. Okay, I get it.
Nice.
That's a lime lager.
Clever brewery.
But, yeah, so it pours with a nice tight white bubbled head. It is golden color, kind of a pale gold.
What I did.
Very, very clear. The aromas. It does have this kind of cereal note to it. Sweet. There's kind of a little bit of like a corn aroma in there as well. And a little zing from a hop. Seems to be a little bit on the kind of citrusy to lemon side on the hop aroma. But it's very, very light. Mostly picking up on like cereal, malt grain type presence. A little bit of a horniness. All right. First swig. Cheers.
Cheers, BuMpy.
Same thing in the mouth. First thing I'm kind of noticing is a little bit of a cereal presence, kind of like what Ron Terrio said with it being kind of like Cheerios. This does have kind of a bit of a Cheerio type cereal flavor to it. A little bit of a corn note in there. Then it's kind of followed up by it's like a citrusy zing from the hop. It does have a bitterness that kind of finishes it off. It's not super, super bitter, but you can tell that there is some bitterness to this one. And the mouthfeel on it, very, very light, very effervescent, bubbly, crisp.
Right on.
Somewhat drying to the palate. But I think they did a decent job for a craft brewery going after an American lager stuff. A little bit more sweet, I would say, than what you'd probably find out of Budweiser or Coors Banquet or any of the other ones. It has just a little bit more of that kind of cereal sweetness to it. But it's nice. So now we're going to go ahead and go round robin. I guess skipping over Lone Star because he already gave us his, what'd you say, 89?
Well, I said it's 89, but
20.
now that y'all are saying like the hay and things like that, I can definitely like I have that hay taste to it now that y'all have kind of mentioned that. I was trying to figure out what that unique taste was, and now you say hey, I understand that. So it definitely got that, and it's got a little bit of that craft beer back in. It's not as crisp as a Miller Lite or whatever, but it's got a little bit of a different back into it. But yeah, still about an 89 on that.
Nice. Is there anything else you want to shout? Anything else out?
I don't really do much on my channel. I review a beer here too. I go live every once in a while with a couple of my buddies here on the panel, and hopefully I got some new beers this week, and hopefully I'll put some new reviews up. It's Lone Star Beer Reviews.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you again, Bumpy, for having me.
I sung to him once already today. I'm not
Yes,
doing it
no,
again.
no. Thank you for joining up, and we do have that.
Yeah,
So
beer man.
don't go
yodel.
anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We do have to finish the show. So
Look, Mandy, come here.
I want you to sing again, Miscellaneous, please. One more time.
Oh, goodness.
All right.
Goodness.
Oh, there's that beautiful doggy. I like your dog. He's so cute.
It's because he's got a beard just like yours.
That's right, man. The bearded beer man dog. Or the
Hell yeah.
beer man dog.
And it's white.
and that dog's a Scotty too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it is a Scotty.
You guys are like
Yeah,
peas in a pod, man.
all wiry and shit.
She's
I
half
like that
schnauzer, half chihuahua, so
Schnauzer. Okay.
Chiser. She's Mexican.
Chiser.
She knows Spanish.
Hey, man. What's up, Chola?
I climbed the wall.
Órale. Órale, pues.
Beer man. What do you think your beer score?
I was kind of relating this to Rolling Rock because it was always one of my favorite American lagers when I was younger. And when I turned 21, my dad gave me a 6-pack of Rolling Rock and a welcome to the adult age. So, pretty sure it was American lager, but anyway, that was a good beer. But it related it to that. It had a lot of the same flavors, but I always went to this, but it was a little more in depth. It was a little more chunkier, a little more nice. I like drinking this. It did get the Cheerio. I was after you started thinking of. You said that you guys say these words, right? And it starts in your brain, and you start drinking it. And it tastes like Cheerios now. Yeah, so now I'm getting Cheerios. I'm getting a catty-like cat piss kind of flavor off this as well.
Yum.
Not that that's delightful. But out of 100, I'll give it 92. It's actually pretty delicious. I think it's
Time
good.
to feed the cats.
I like cat piss. I gotta change the cat litter.
Yeah, change the box.
That might be the problem. But it did have a cat in it. 92 out of 100 for sure. Yeah, good beer.
Nice.
Sweet. All right,
Cheers.
so yeah.
Oh yeah,
man.
Shout out your channel and
Sorry.
stuff like that too.
Oh shit! Shoot, sure.
Premature.
So we got beer and cheese Tuesday tomorrow, and we were working on a new thing. So tomorrow we said Swiss. So if anyone found Swiss, come to my channel tomorrow, which I did, and I hope you guys did. 5:00, same time as BuMpy-s. And then of course Wednesday is recipe, and I'm kind of debating on what I want to talk about this week. Kind of trying to figure that one out. I was gonna think light IPAs or those low-cal IPAs or something like that, but we'll figure it out. Cheers, guys. Much love. Thank you, BuMpy.
Cheers.
So Swiss cheese or a Swiss woman?
Swiss cheese.
Possibly found.
Swiss Miss.
Ronald says no.
Is
cheese.
Austrian close enough? Anyway,
Baby Swiss or any Swiss?
Any Swiss.
Any Swiss.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's all true.
Cheers.
All right. So I went through. I drank a couple. I've actually had 2 of these. I'm about to open another one. Took some notes. So on the pour, I noticed that it is it's not your it doesn't look like your traditional American lager. It's a little bit darker than that from what I've seen. What everybody else is pouring up. Sweet, malty, white bread crust, almost malt flavor coming off of it. It was light, crisp, effervescent. Toasted malt. I wouldn't say roasted. It was just a little bit in there, it had that slight bitter citrus hoppy floral taste to it. The head was soapy like, but it was tight, firm, medium retention, pretty good lacing. For the style of beer, I really wasn't expecting to get the flavors that I got out of this, so I'm gonna roll with a 97. I was actually blown away by this beer.
Sounds good.
Nice.
Compared to your traditional Budweiser, things like that.
Definitely try that one.
So,
yeah, for sure.
Going to get another one.
Dreaming. Sweet. So, yeah, Budweiser. What do you say about Budweiser? Really not much, because a lot's been said about Budweiser. Bitterness is very light on here. The taste of Budweiser is very light for me. I mean, my opinion, very, very light beer from malt standpoint. The malts are very light. The rice in it is, I think it balances perfect with the malts, barley. I can't remember what the yeast was. I should have looked it up. But anyway, yeah, you can't go wrong with Budweiser. You know, it's comparable on price. I love how effervescent it is. I mean, you want to have a belch-off contest, you can, chug some of these and just go to town. King of Beers. I'm going to give it a 96 out of 100. Cheers.
Nailed it.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah. You got it, buddy. You got it.
Yep.
You hit it on.
There's a reason why it's the King of Beers.
I actually didn't mean to intervene here. There was a thing I watched coming home from California on the airplane, and I was watching the Budweiser kind of standoff, and they were all brewing the same beer, trying to make the exact same beer as Budweiser itself, and it came off being a very hard challenge. I mean, you got to be exact with that, and it's really crazy how intricate they are with making that beer. So,
well, just imagine the water profile. Period.
Yeah, efficiency and consistency. I mean, you've got to be Johnny on the spot, and they could do it every fucking time. Bam, 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 bam.
Anything off?
I might not be drinking it, but I'm toasting. I might not be drinking that product, but I'm toasting.
I'll tell you what.
Last night, I drank.
Ron, either you got really big hands, or that's a real small glass.
I was thinking the same thing, bro.
So you got to see my feet.
No, it's 94 degrees. So I keep my hams can in the coolie, and I only pour. It's 7 ounces. It's a 7-ounce glass.
You could chug all night.
Perfect beer.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! I've been chugging since 4. I think I started at 3:30. I started at 3:30 Eastern.
John and Ellie, were you there?
3:30 Eastern. But I can still give a good review because Budweiser is an amazing product. You know, if it wasn't for Budweiser, they wouldn't have pasteurized beer. They wouldn't have refrigerated beer. They wouldn't have a global distribution, distribution. And I crave, yesterday it was 94 degrees out here, hotter than hell. And I started drinking at 1:30, 2 o'clock, because I wanted a refreshing beer. And that beer was a Budweiser. I mean, it's just an amazing product. Now,
I just see horses and Dalmatians going by.
Clydesdales.
See Clydesdales.
Yeah.
Fire truck will never get to the fire.
And I'll shut up. One
Heck
fact,
yeah, man,
and I'll
I'm with
shut
you.
up.
That's good stuff.
Okay, I understand.
How's the ham?
They drain out 75% of the tank. Okay, when it stops working, when the yeast stops working, and then when they fill up the other tank, they wait for like a 2-week-old beer, and that's where they poison their product.
Yep.
They put that 2-week-old beer that's still working back in that tank, and it gives it this. There ain't too many brewers that do that.
Have a hell of a time pulling up Beechwood.
Huh?
Chop up some
Beechwood
beechwood.
doesn't give any flavor at all. Beechwood doesn't give any flavor, but it gives more area for the yeast to attach to and work.
Give
That's the
something the
only
kids to
reason
write
they
on.
put Beechwoods in.
Big
Fuck,
old
yeah,
log
that's
of
about it.
beechwood.
So I have a question for everybody. So everybody that had a craft American lager,
Mhm.
so this is my hazy. Are yours still hazy? Like with the ones
What's
that
your
had?
glass sweating?
No, this is like
Because
a.
you're using 6-row
No,
barley
mine was
malt.
never hazy. Mine was very clear.
Yours looks like
Good.
yours isn't a cold haze either.
No, mine's like an actual hazy. I
Yeah.
can't even see through, which is
Like murky,
it's a little bit different for American. I was expecting like a crisp,
Yeah.
like see through
Yeah.
like a Budweiser, but this is
Unfiltered.
yeah.
Yeah, it's unfiltered.
You know, it's Texas.
That's right.
Hey, shut your.
All right. So Sutton.
Ron, what's the number you're giving that thing?
The hams?
Yeah.
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 Since we're talking about
will
Budweiser,
I will score Budweiser higher. Okay, I'll give it the same score that Nina gave, which is a 98.6. This hams is a 97.
All right.
Yep.
Nice.
great
For
American
the-
Damn.
lager.
Yeah, for an American adjunct lager, you know, they profiled these beers after the Pilsners. You know, that's what I was saying. It's actually a Pilsner beer. They say lager, but you know, Pilsners are my favorite beers. I would drink a Pilsner over any other type of beer there is. I love it.
Would you drink an IPL?
I don't know. You know, I prefer others. I did like a thing. I got thrown off, but anyhow, I did Grolsch, and Grolsch beer.
Gross is good, man.
It had the smallest bubbles I ever saw in a beer in my life. And I always said the smaller the beer, the better the beer. And that was one of the best beers. And I can't remember what you said, BuMpy. You said something to set me off, and I let the F-bomb fly. I can't remember what even I did. I don't know. I go back and look at it, and I still can't.
Don't worry about it. Just fuck it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, I think I told you that you had to hurry up and say what you needed to say about your beer because otherwise I wouldn't get a chance to go either.
You said no. You made a comment about Grolsch. You said it was I forget what you said it was.
Oh, I
I
don't know.
like throw up or something.
It's
I
probably
can't
BuMpy-isms.
remember. Yeah. So what?
Come
So
on.
be it. I've been thrown.
Gross
I've been
sounds
thrown
like
out of
gross.
so many of my sportsman's
Thrash
club
is
meetings. It doesn't even matter. Yeah. So Thrash, yeah, he got thrown to the basement the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah. TM75. TM75. He took a dive to the basement. Where's he at tonight?
Oh, I don't
Come
know
on,
where he's
people,
at.
talk.
I don't know where John is.
So what's the good word, BuMpy?
Well, my good
Phil,
word is I'm hearing all these 96s, 97s. So I have to compare this now to Pabst Blue Ribbon to see
I threw an 89.
what the flavor difference is.
Patrick Swayze. I got Pabst Blue Ribbon on my mind. Back in the 70s, 77, 78.
Jeremy.
Small bowls, big bowls.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more of that nice kind of sweet flavor, more of that graininess, that kind of cereal grain thing going on. Yeah, I'll give this one a 97 out of 100 as well for the night heavy.
What it is. Yeah.
Not bad.
Damn.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
It's pretty close to like a Pabst, but it's got I think it's got less bitterness than what the Pabst is actually giving off. But it's kind of got that sweeter malty backbone than the Pabst does.
Pabst has a bite. It's a distinct bite, like at the finish. that I don't really care for. It's got something there, and I don't care for it.
There you go. This comes from Kent Beer Reviews.
I think it was pretty much. He got to the point and said it was like Heineken almost.
Heineken's got that bite though.
Yeah.
I like Heineken
I
every once
say
in a while.
if you want a lager that's, to me, tastes pretty much identical to, not Heineken's in a can, because Heineken's in a can doesn't have the skunkiness. It's got a different flavor when it's not skunk.
Oh, the light doesn't go through the can.
But the Heineken that most of us are familiar with, the green bottle skunky Heineken, if you get, which also comes in a green bottle, Moosehead lager out of Canada, it's so much cheaper than Heineken, and I swear it's the same skunk. They use the same skunk.
I remember when you said that. You offended Paul.
I offend people. I'm not intentionally. So I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. My panel, we had myself, of course, Ron Therio, Louisiana Beer Reviews. We had Birthday Boy Lone Star, Beer Man, Beer Chair, Little Fan, Miscellaneous Magnets, Doorway Stop.
Cheers, guys.
Thrash Metal Homebrew, and RONALD Sutton. Thank you very much for joining in again. And you got to talk all about the Budweiser. I mean, the hams. I want to thank my chat also for being here, because without you guys, obviously, the show wouldn't be as jam-packed with chat as it is without you. So thank you.
Yeah, man. Apparently, we had a pretty rocking crowd in the chat.
The chat's been going off on that, man. The chat's been having a good time.
Yeah, thank the viewers, the ones that aren't chatting as well, anybody that's watching. As always with Multi Mondays, if you don't want to join up on panel, if you hear, which we're going to come up with real shortly, what the next Multi Monday beer is going to be. But you can always try to find the same style that we're drinking and drink along in the panel, and just kind of hear what the BJCP kind of, if I can find something on BJCP for it anyways, says about it, and also what our panel members are saying about the style that they have at hand. Drink along, and also you are welcome to join in on panel if you're in the chat. You don't have a link from one of the various Hangouts groups that I'm in. I will put the link into the chat as well. Unless maybe it's like so jam-packed already that I was just going to lose my mind. I try to keep this kind of close to an hour long.
You need to get a PayPal and start pimping that shit, man, so we can get 10 people up here.
Get 10 people up here. All's good then.
But for next Multi Monday, since it is Lone Star's birthday, he is going to let us know what we're going to be
that's today.
Looking for what is next Monday anyways?
Is the 13th. Monday the 13th.
Monday the 13th. Jason.
And thank you, Jeremy V. I see you there. Appreciate you, sir. So next Monday, July 13th, as Bumpy said, and I appreciate this, he let me pick the next Multi Monday beer. So I'm going to go with an American Bock. Whether it be Shiner, Ziegen, whatever craft beers you can find, but an American Bock.
All right. That's going to be a challenge, but we can do it.
Yeah. I don't know if they actually have a BJCP. I'll look for some type of write-up on American Bock.
Okay.
But so staying away from any German-made one, something that's made in America.
Right. Whiskey stouts like I'm bringing Saudi Arabia.
America strong. And I do want to justify my A and
that's a standard. You're looking for a standard box. We're not doing Doppelbox. It's gonna be a standard box that's made by an American brewery.
Saudi Arabian.
Okay.
Saudi Arabian, who knows?
And Jeremy V is gonna bring German Bock.
with Sutton. Oh,
Oh, but a happy birthday once again to Lone Star there from JV.
Thank you, Bumpy.
John and Ellie after party, because it's about to go on right now, because we are going to say cheers and thank you all for joining tonight. And we'll catch you next Multi Monday on Monday, the 13th of July, with Standard Box made in America. America box.
America.
America.
Because there might be a lot of box. I mean, the pitchers are going to be like, you know, not trained as well, not ready to go.
Goats and things.
I thought it was
Goats.
everybody just try to
All right. Cheers.
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 Oh, yeah. And Multi Monday, it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern time, just in case anybody doesn't know that.